Welcome back. I'm joined by Mary Beth McHugh, who is a dietitian, and she specializes in functional medicine. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Paula.
So tell us, what is functional medicine?
Functional medicine is actually the practice of looking at cause and effect of chronic conditions or when the body's out of balance.
And how did you get into it?
From my own illness experience in the late 90s, I was not feeling great. I couldn't really function too well, didn't have that much energy, and saw a lot of conventional physicians who were friends that I worked with for years. They couldn't come up with what was going on, and then I saw functional medicine physicians that I was led to by dietitians in my field. And they did a series of tests, and they came up with 15 conditions, all probably led by mercury toxicity.
Wow.
And I had the mercury toxicity because of amalgam fillings in my mouth.
And look at you today. You look so fresh and happy.
Oh, well, thank you. I am happy.
Now, is functional medicine, like, does it focus on lifestyle, what people eat? Like,
Absolutely.
can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes, it focuses on everything: spirituality, the emotional component, physical component, structural component, lifestyle. There's a lot of different arms that they teach in the practice of functional medicine. I, as a dietitian, I've done various different levels of training and certification to help people with calming down and getting rid of some stress. We do some meditation process. And then I look at assessments on their symptoms and their lifestyle and their history, and if they're on any medications, and we talk about goals. And we weave together for them on a unique individual basis. First of all, I explain to them why they might be having a symptom and what's causing it. This is all based, again, on the training through the Institute of Functional Medicine. And then we might do some more tests. We might do some conventional labs, or we might do some more what we call functional labs, which look a little bit more clearly at chronic states versus disease states. Mm-hmm. And then we come up with a plan, and the basis is always diet and nutrition. And I actually don't really do diets per se that much anymore, but we look at healthy ways of eating to establish a healthy foundation, because you really are what you eat, and you really can transform the body. You're always breaking down and rebuilding. And whatever you give the body in the way of food, thoughts, your emotions, your spiritual practice, really indicates how you design your body as you go forward, how you evolve into health, healing, or more illness.
And you actually had to do a certification, mind, mood, and food, correct?
I did that through the Center for Mind-Body Medicine. I've also done the Food is Medicine certification with the Center for Mind-Body Medicine, which was actually in the New York Times last week. There was an article, if I can mention that,
sure, absolutely,
on self-care, and I put it on our Facebook page of this event that we're going to talk about. And the author is a friend of mine, Dr. James Gordon, who is a pioneer in mind-body medicine. And he has a phenomenal practitioner-based educational program that he trains integrative practitioners, healthcare practitioners all over the world.
And you have an event coming up on June 14th, The Wisdom of Self-Care. Can you talk a little bit about that, too?
Yes, thank you. The Wisdom of Self-Care, a wellness symposium on whole health and purpose. It is part of a vision for Saratoga to bring about more of the stronger components that we have that our history is based in. So there's a movement in dance, there's naturopathic medicine, but we're expressing that in the education of functional medicine and functional medicine and nutrition, which is, again, very similar to naturopathic medicine practices. We're looking at organic farming, we're looking at equine therapy programs. We have about 8 speakers. It's a one-day event. And the purpose is to really enlighten and inform and empower people to know what else is out there beyond the conventional medical model. Because the pioneers that I've worked with, there was some articles out with some of those people in the last couple of weeks, really have made a point of trying to bring this really to the Washington levels. They've testified to Congress that...
Well, Dr. Oz, for example,
exactly,
correct? He used to have surgery every day?
Right. And he, spoke to us and told us that he doesn't do that anymore because the 4 other days he loves to do what he's doing on his own show to help people. in wellness and lifestyle changes, and he does that surgery 1 day a week.
So is this event going to be mostly speaker-based, or are you going to be working with people in different sessions?
Sure. We're going to be speaker-based. We're also going to be hands-on with the dance and the yoga between speakers. We're going to have exhibitors. We're hopefully going to have equine therapy horses come. We're looking for sponsorship for that. So if anyone, at the end of this program, there'll be some information if anyone's interested in sponsoring for those horses to come on June 14th.
And is it free to attend?
It's $30. It includes lunch at the Gideon Putnam, and the speakers and the exhibitors, prizes, raffles, and the Gideon Putnam is putting on a networking happy hour at the end at 5:30ish if people want to attend that.
So it seems like it's a very awesome event, and the focus is to almost, what would you call it, to not fix yourself, but to get tips on how you can live a happier, healthier life.
Absolutely.
And you also, going back to what you specialize, what you do every day, you also work with children also.
Yes.
And
all ages.
And so, for example, we mentioned before, like ADD, ADHD is one of the things that you work with also, correct?
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that also?
Well, we start again with the habits. You know, the parents will be there normally if it's someone that's less than 18 years old, and we look at their eating habits and really lifestyle habits throughout the day, activity. Many times it's about pulling back on foods that are not whole foods, so getting away from anything that's in a bag or in a box, because the majority of that product is not going to be whole foods based or real foods based. Taking away chemicals and pesticides from the diet.
All that bad stuff.
Yeah, and you know, but really getting clean ways of eating, whole foods, organically grown, local, high in nutritional value, plant-based. And then we also look at low inflammation, because whenever you've got a chronic condition in the body or an imbalance, you've got what we call inflammation. So there are certain foods that can put more inflammation into the body, and we look at those and we take those away. We don't take away food groups.
Right.
We take away certain foods that might be causing some of the condition or some of the symptoms.
And that may help you better.
Correct. And you know, but we look at everything that's going on, you know, with labs, with medications, with supplements if there's any involved, activity, hydration. There's always things to tweak, and it's amazing the changes, the positive changes that occur.
Well, I can tell. I can't stop looking at you. Your glow looks awesome.
You.
Mary Beth, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you so much for the information. Don't forget, June 14th, The Wisdom of Self-Care at the Gideon Putnam. And to see this interview again, head to our website, Look TV Online.